Hello, so today I want to talk about accepting yourself and how that is one of the biggest keys that you can have in eating disorder recovery. And a big thing with eating disorders a lot of times is there's this ever-pervasive feeling that I need to fix my weight. My weight, like it can be like this is unacceptable, or where I'm at, I still need to lose more. So like you can think that maybe you weigh too much and have a lot of self-hatred from that, and then that starts driving behaviors, or you can be at a place and it's still never good enough. And there's really this feeling of I am never good enough, I need to change. And so you're chasing this never ending, you're never gonna hit the target. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then even if you do hit the target, you try to hold on to control so bad. You got to your goal weight. Oh God, I can't lose this because this is my everything. By having that level of control, everything in your life is going to break down. One of the biggest things that we could do to recover from an eating disorder is to accept who we are and to learn to let go of that control. That control of trying to be someone else, trying to push ourselves into these idealized states. And really, a lot of healing comes from just accepting and recognizing ourselves. So an example for me with this is I starting when I was 14, I had I started my eating disorder. And so I was really trying to chase this idealized target that was forever moving. And then later in life, I got really into enlightenment work. I got really into self-help, and there was always some way that I could improve. There was always some way that I wasn't enough. There was always some way that my weight wasn't enough. There was always some way that I wasn't spiritual enough. There was always some way that I wasn't pretty enough for the things that I wanted in life. And really, one of the biggest things that helped me, and that I would say for you to start to do, is to look at, okay, what is this belief that I have? I'm too fat to be loved. And then what is the truth? So for me, with that example, the truth was I have never been too fat to be loved. I have been a huge range of weights and sizes. And I have been loved at every single one. I'm no longer engaged, but at one point I was engaged to a really wonderful man, and that was at my highest weight ever. And actually, one of the things that destroyed it was me feeling, even though I had gotten this love from this man, me somehow still thinking like my weight wasn't good enough. And I had a lot of behaviors, and it was a contributing factor in the ending of that relationship. So yeah, really starting to look at that, like, right, I believe this about myself, but what is the actual fact? Another example for me is I used to believe that I was unintelligent because of a really abusive relationship that I was in. And I was actually, and part of it was actually at like one point I was so abused that I lost my ability to talk. Like I would try to speak and words wouldn't come out. And so it made me feel very, very dumb. Eventually, I started to have to look at the evidence. Oh, people don't think I'm dumb. Actually, people tell me I'm smart. Like, the world isn't reflecting this belief that I keep believing. And another thing then is to start looking at how do I reinforce these beliefs that I have about myself. So for me, anytime I made a little mistake in my words or didn't say something as eloquently as I would like, I would use that to reinforce this belief that I was stupid. And that would create this like backlash and this hurt. And then that usually just made this spiral where I would lose confidence, then I would lose my inability to speak, and there's, this kind of perpetual cycle. So the way that we break that is by, like, for example, you thinking that you're too big to have friends, you're too big to go outside of your house, something like that. One of the biggest ways you can challenge this, really encourage you, is to go out. You get invited to something and you feel insecure about your weight, go out anyway and show who you are, shine as you are. If you're feeling a little insecure, like, and you're with your best friend, be like, I feel insecure, like, I feel a little fat today. And your best friend will be like, girl, you look beautiful, or, whatever it is that you need. Like, let life reassure you, but then also start to prove and start to take the opposite actions of how you're feeling. It's one of the biggest ways that you can start to challenge yourself in this way. Oh, I feel like I'm too big to eat, or I shouldn't eat today. Challenge yourself. Give yourself that meal. And so kind of going back to the beginning with this idea of like always needing to change ourselves, it's good to start to take a look at like, who were you as a child? What was it that you liked to do for fun? Did you like to draw? Did you like to dance? Did you build robots? Like, what did you like to do? And how has that now been replaced by eating disorder behaviors or these compensating behaviors for feeling like you're not enough? So for me, like self-help books, I stopped, doing art because I felt like art wasn't important. It wouldn't improve me in the way that self-help books would. Somehow, no matter how many self-help books and meditation retreats and stuff like that, yeah, definitely growing bit by bit, but still struggling with a lot of the same issues on a lot of the same degrees. So I really encourage you to start like looking at who you were, and then that's okay. And also, like, in this culture with food, there can be all these ideas of this right way and this wrong way. Really encourage you to start thinking back about like what you ate when you were a kid. What did you like to eat? I'm sure it was a wide range of food, and like think, like that was okay. That's okay for me now. And a huge way that you can start to like let go of control and to heal this eating disorder is by saying, the foods I like, it's okay. It's okay to like burritos. It's okay to like having a latte and a little cookie in the morning if that's, what you dig. And by actually just going ahead and allowing yourself to have that, then there'll be space and time where you're like, yeah, I feel like a smoothie today. Yeah, I feel like a hot dog. Whatever it is, like, you'll just start to see that, like, you don't actually need to have control. You don't actually need to be planning, your whole, like, how your whole life and around food and, I ate this, so in my next meal I'm going to compensate like this. And because when you start to go through life, you'll recognize that shit happens. I'm going to let you know right now, no matter how perfect your diet is, no matter how perfect your exercise routine is, no matter how perfect you have it all under control, you've got it figured out. Stuff's going to happen. The weather will be bad and you can't go on a run. Something will happen with your family. You go on a trip and you're in an airport and they don't have your, special diet and you're really hungry. Like, whatever it is, having these layers and levels of control is actually only going to cause you to break that control and to have more pain. So, as crazy as it sounds, we just need to start accepting ourselves. Start accepting that we want the things that we want and saying, yeah, it's okay that I want that. Start accepting what it is that we like to do and who we are and how we want to eat. And it's through this through this, not thinking that we need to change and to become this thing in the future. There's a lot of, a lot of these motivational things that are very important, or that are really proliferated in our society right now, of like, change, and then like that's actually like is cool, self-improvement and stuff like that, but you're never gonna get that far by pushing yourself. You're actually going to get further by just allowing who you are and allowing that to open up and allowing yourself to breathe, allowing yourself to take it easy. You don't need to change. Just take it. Or maybe, like in a sense, like you, like everything is okay. If you, binge for the next 5 years, that would be okay. At a certain point, that will probably become unacceptable to you. But it's really important for you to realize that like who you are is just so worthy of love. And I really encourage you to start thinking about like, who am I? Who was I as a child? Who am I beyond these eating disorders? Who am I beyond these ideas of who I need to be? Because like, what was I interested in when I was younger? And what can I allow right now for myself? All right. That's all I have to share for you today, and I'm thinking about you and rooting you on. Bye.